one more bowl. We're a minute late.
Yeah, I had to make a drink. It took me longer than I thought it was going to. Shaylee will be along in a second, he said.
But the orb, it doesn't really matter what time it is.
Nice.
It's always orb time. As long as you know the secret.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Do you?
Yeah. Yeah, there's a remote control.
The secret is AAA batteries.
Well, maybe that one orb, but this particular orb. So that's even more mind-boggling to think that somebody out there was controlling it with a remote control that can run for 30 minutes, 30 minutes or 60 minutes.
Depending on how much you push the buttons? Is that how that
works? Seem like,
if it's charged.
Why would anyone pick the 30 minutes? I want mine to run out soon.
Yeah.
Like
Let's
a
see,
snooze alarm on your fun.
How long do mushrooms generally burn? Yeah. That'd be, if they do, I don't know if they'll legalize mushrooms, but if they did and they sold them in shops, you'd have to go through that shit. Now, what's this one going to do? Well, this one will give you a pretty good body high unless you got some demons in your closet. Then you're going to run around crying all night. Oh, okay. Just eat the mushrooms.
Is this an indica or a sativa?
Yeah. I am learning that to do a bunch of indica at night. But I got sleeping pills. I forgot the first drug I can abuse prescribed to me. So I'm on a regular person sleeping pattern, and I don't really like it that much.
Does that mean you're not getting up at 4 o'clock in the morning anymore?
Yeah, like I wake up about 6:30, 7. It's like that's but you don't want to wake up if you're just kind of bummed out. You want to sleep longer.
Wake up at 7 and take another sleeping pill.
Yeah.
Yeah, not quite there yet, but let's just say it's a good thing Cobra Kai landed when it did.
I saw that, a new season.
Yeah.
I haven't gotten to it yet.
I assume the girls want to have sex with the dudes or whatever, but I'm kind of impressed that that they just want to fight mainly.
Yeah.
I don't remember a lot of chicks in my school just wanting to kick each other's ass or hold a grudge or whatever because they're in a group. But kind of use some drill team support from time to time.
Yeah, the whole thing in the valley there at Cobra Kai High School has kind of gone off the rails. I mean, it started as one kid learning how to defend himself against some bullies, and now it's a full-on American foreign policy globally escalated situation.
And just enough minority kids sprinkled throughout the different dojos.
Wait, are you saying that Cobra Kai started out on the rails? Really? Wasn't that off the rails in the beginning?
Maybe a little,
but the concept.
I guess. Yeah, they were dicks, but they were the only dicks.
You kind of have to you have to pretend you're in the same valley that Daniel Sam was in when he was first there. It's like, for instance, if there was 14 white kids fighting in a mall and one black kid involved in it, they would send the SWAT team in there and take out that black kid. But the Cobra Kai, they just run amok. It's like it's like a flash mob with fighting. And and it's like, the parents are just kind of disappointed. Like, man, I didn't teach you nunchucks so you could take it. And, oh, man.
Well, they're chucking people through picture windows.
It sounds to me like Cobra Kai is what happens when people talk about Fight Club. That's what happened. Now you've got everybody in the high school at Fight Club, and everybody fucking knows about it.
And two old, they're all like older dudes, but it's especially older dudes with crease. And then he brought in that dude from the 80s that was turned Daniel Sam into Cobra Kai and then broke his spirit. That dude's in it. So I was like, I'm still waiting for the molestation situation. It's like, why are these old dudes they really just want to teach these kids to fight other kids?
Now we do checker for wood chips.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Drop them gi. I was highly influenced enough to take karate at a dojo, which was just the open gym at LB Len Benton Community College.
You took karate in college?
Okay. Yeah, I took it in community. I don't know. I was trying to say like karate, community college. Yeah, that was what I had. That really wiry teacher who I don't know what he saw some shit in his past, but I don't think it was in the war. he was a fucking wiry, angry dude, and he didn't. And I would go in and go, like I was sensei, and he didn't want to be called sensei, so he was like a real.
Andy Sensei was a cook at the student union.
Yeah.
He didn't want to be called sensei. I am chef.
What do you call a guy with a black belt that teaches at a community college? Senseless.
Sensei.
Yeah. Senseless. All right. It's senseless that you don't start your own dojo. But yeah, I took a couple of. I think I took it till I got kind of kicked out. I mean, I was forced out. Like my class started as Miyagi-Do and ended Cobra Kai. I got kicked out, bullied out by the teacher and his girlfriend and a nerd. I mean, the nerd was a victim. In karate, if you take down a nerd, it's cool if he has a higher belt than you. That's what happened. I took down a nerd, but he was a purple belt and I was a yellow.
And you got kicked out for that? Did you use some non-karate moves?
That was the beginning of the end. He didn't like my attitude. I don't know. He just seemed to not like me. But
there's always more to these stories, Andy. Whenever
I did the math on it because this guy seemed like he was like a Vietnam vet, but he was like, no way he was in that age bracket. So, but that's why I think he saw some shit. But I don't know, maybe whatever he did, he seemed to not like me, and I didn't go in there with I wanted to learn and everything, but this was what happened. It was this. You were supposed to pick somebody in your own bracket to spar with, and then everybody chose somebody, and I was really kind of a newbie. I think there were other yellow belts, but everybody paired up, and I got left out. And then there was a purple belt nerd, and I go, "How about you?" And he goes, "You need to choose somebody in your own skill level," something to that effect. And then it's just like, all right, well, it looks like it's just us then. And I think he got a couple of shots in, but and I was pretty good at like just side kick. That was about it, I didn't stretch other ways, but I could throw a sucker side kick. And he threw something, or he come running in, jumped in, and I threw a side kick, and it crumpled him and fucked him up. As I called an ambulance and everything.
What?
Yeah, he got internal injuries or whatever was the fear, and I don't know what happened because I didn't really care. I got I got chewed out. But it was like if that's all there was, it was just like he lunged into a side kick, and it caught him just up under, and he tucked under and was in a lot of pain. But he's a nerd. I don't know. I did not. And I learned a lot of my, karate from pro wrestling.
There it is.
There might have been a little element of that. I had a little showman element, headbands and such.
What was your walk-up music?
I could never get him to play it. Part of the problem. But so after I crumpled that kid, the next class, or maybe that same class, I fought his chick, and she was a brown belt. So I went from purple. I'm just like a yellow belt, being like, this is hazing, but it's not working very well for the hazers because one of them just got taken out. And so maybe this was the next class that I sparred with his lady, who has a brown belt, and she did pretty good, but I threw a kick and it caught her in the face. Same kind of a situation. She was short, and she kicked my ass pretty good. So
she said, "No way, he's throwing a sidekick again." Bam! There's Andy right now.
Karate. He was clearly told those kicks were illegal and not to be used in this class. So there's no way that he'll do it again.
Nobody said a chimp couldn't take karate. So I think it was like a thing, and the instructor saw him, that was like a freeze frame, and I saw him looking at me, and I just landed a kick in his lady's face, and then he stepped in, and he really kicked the shit out of me. He's a black belt, and he
Are you sure this isn't an episode of Cobra Kai? I'm going to watch Cobra Kai just to see if this happens in an episode.
It also doesn't sound like a sparring situation at all. It sounds like Andy's fighting with people and people are jumping in. You don't just jump in. He jumped in and started kicking your ass. I mean,
it was like next up, and then he called. So I'm like, I'm fucking just, my karate outfit is still crisp. Hasn't really been washed. I was a white belt, and then I did some symbolic shit and got a yellow belt, and that was it. And then so I went up and put a purple belt out of commission. Boom, take him off the mat. And then brown belt but I beat her enough that the instructor thought he needed to teach me a lesson. And the lesson was, I don't like taking karate from him. He takes everything way too personally. And I saw him because I was one of my I was paid. It was like work study, some bullshit like that, like welfare, but you had to work at college. And I was at the athletic department. So I would see the karate guy come and go, outside of my dealings with him and shit. And he was a fucking hothead, like a fucking poor man's Chuck Norris.
Wait, Chuck Norris is a poor man's Chuck Norris.
No, he actually, he was pretty kind of badass. He had longer limbs than Chuck Norris. And he just looked more like fucking angry white man. But he was kind of a dick, and I that's why I took his black belt, and I had his black belt. That's why I took it.
Oh, okay.
Because I got kicked in the face in his class a bunch, and then I didn't get the guy's purple belt. Like I kicked him and he went.
You don't get to take the other fighter's belt when you get it isn't wrestling like that.
I should have in sparring. We should have each gotten our own, like a sparring belt.
You're not fighting for the belt itself.
Well, that's how the karate movies I watched growing up. You fought until you didn't fight, and I think I could have taken his chick. It was just I was being very polite because I was fighting in front of it's like trying to fuck somebody's girlfriend in front of him. The guy fighting his girlfriend in front of him, and he's a hothead, so he's gonna prove him, So there was no right way. So I was just taking more of a beating, and she's short limbed and shit. Kind of, you could just kick and then just all right, come here, shorty. So yeah, I could have run a dojo. I could have opened an opposing dojo to say I don't like his strike me policy. I don't care about striking first, but he struck me, and I got rights at that community college, and I also know where your locker is. You may control your dojo, which he didn't like it when I called the gymnasium a dojo either. He was really pretty humorless for karate like you think he'd have a sense of humor. You're teaching at a community college.
Uh-huh.
Most of my other teachers didn't seem to take it too seriously. I got drunk. I got taught drunk history by a drunken history teacher.
Yeah, you needed the biology teacher teaching. You needed that level.
Yeah,
the guy who was paying so little attention that you could go get a second pig to dissect and throw the
I don't
first
think
one
they
in
would
the
have
garbage.
given that, even though that community college was set right in the middle of hog country. That wasn't. I had to learn at a state college to get with the real funding behind it to get piglets. Hey, and right on cue.
Hey, Shaley.
Haley.
Hey, man.
How are you?
Good.
Shaylee, Andy was just telling us a story where he either kicked the shit out of some people at karate class, or somewhere there are some people with a story going, remember when we were in aerobics class and that guy with a gi and a headband came in and started kicking people? There's always two sides to Andy's stories.
Oh,
Yeah.
Andy says that he
I
was in
also-
karate and beat a purple belt. So
I also stole his sparring gloves. So you don't fuck with me. I work behind the scenes here, man.
Mm-hmm.
Did
I
you have a
crawl-
gi on?
I did have a gi, yeah. Yeah.
Well, you don't put a gi in the scene unless you're going to use it.
That's
So,
right.
I don't know how serious I took karate, but I took it as serious to quit it like I did varsity football. So I quit at the same. Actually, if my coach in high school would have kicked my ass and cut me from the team, that's what happened in karate. But it's like a community college, so it's like there's no reason to stick around for the next quarter. He did that, and I'm not. It's like the grade's out, so I'll just take archery. So I think
It's kind of crazy that you guys were actually sparring in a community college karate class. Like, it seems a community college level, it should be, learning the motions, maybe a big like bag, or so you're kicking a big heavy bag or something. You're not like really strapping in and fucking going
this
at
guy,
it.
Like
You put the
one-on-one to the
first kid-
cat.
He
Yeah,
told us,
yeah.
Shaylee, that he put the first kid they had to call the ambulance for because he kicked him so hard that he had internal injury.
He came in. It was a good sparring match. I will give him. He was scrappy.
For one of you.
But yeah, no. I mean, it was he come in on a side. I threw a side kick, and my brother Jeff would always throw fucking stupid shit, like
Yeah.
When in that same time frame, I was a lethal weapon, but I didn't get really accredited because of the community college,
That's it right there. I mean, what they
Uh,
didn't understand in that class is that you may have been a yellow belt, but you were also the fifth youngest boy in the
Yeah,
family.
you know what flinching
So-
gives you? Reflexes. So I'd
I mean,
flinch.
he should have gotten like when someone goes back to community college, or they try to move back into like university at the age of like 55 or 60, they give life experience points.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what you should have been given,
Yeah.
so that they could have at least matched you up with someone.
I was a MacGyver of weaponry. One of Larry's teeth, and I went out with a big marble.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Larry, he come at me, I hit him with a marble. I would hit people with dolls. Eventually, when I wasn't playing with them,
Wait, you brought dolls to your class? Karate class?
No, but those are just, like so I went into karate already being kind of a deadly weapon. You don't fuck with me, because that's why they didn't fuck with me, because I would come at them with rage and whatever I could get my hands on and dolls. So
if I squared up to fight somebody and they had Drowsy doll in their hand, I'd be a little intimidated.
I was not a fighter in the Drowsy days, but when I had those Johnny West action figures, you didn't come and fuck with me, because I would swing General Custer up your ass. Hit you with a little big horn upside your head. Because Custer was a crusher. Custer, and I could hit a hippie with Custer and General Geronimo, Chief Geronimo, and fuck them up.
All right. Hey, can you guys see me? Am I there?
Yeah, you're frozen, but we can hear you.
Look like John Elway right now.
All right,
there you go.
that's better.
You're back. Yeah.
I don't know what happened.
You look like
everything went.
John.
I felt like I attacked Andy in karate class. 1 minute everything was going great, and then everything just went black.
It hurts, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. I wasn't expecting it.
Somewhat, like I was saying, my brother Jeff would come at me with stupid shit. Like when he knew I was taking karate, and this time in particular, we played basketball on a really shitty gravel court, and Jeff comes running up and does some stupid, like, awkward fucking kick, and then I just hit his heel and dropped him on his head. And I didn't, I wasn't like I didn't have like a catchphrase.
Wait. You did do the Matumbo finger when he came in the lane.
Yeah, I what can you do, man?
There's your catchphrase right there.
What can you do, man? But he didn't come lunging at me like that stupid shit anymore.
Oh, so that was like kind of a breakthrough.
Well,
he backed off, or did he come at you with a weapon next time?
He still no. Jeff wouldn't have come at me with a weapon other than religion.
The stupidest weapon of all.
Oh man, I didn't recognize the phone number and answered it, and it was Jeff. And so I'm getting prayed for.
Oh well, it might help.
Yeah. Well, sure. Yeah, I mean,
I mean, instead of doing nothing,
I'll pray. Well, pray. No, don't pray for me. Pray for the surgeon. Let's offer guidance to his. My daughter says he gets good ratings, so I'm going to go with that. I'm not really getting through to get the second opinion, because it's out of network, and it might be worth more to get an 8-ball on the other side of all this.
I can't argue with you.
Yeah, and just get her grinded. My kid, it's like she said, I don't know. She just keeps bringing up my organs. I'm getting organs taken out. So you probably won't feel like doing that, because you're gonna have your, it's like, gonna keep saying it like that shit.
Like, you're not gonna want to go rollerblading because you need your gallbladder to rollerblade.
Right. I know. Well, I'm gonna find out. And find out how much a gallbladder is worth on the eBay.
Yeah, it'd be nice if they let you keep it.
If it was, I don't know like you wouldn't, if your gallbladder went out, you wouldn't be on a donor list to get another one, even though they come available all the time. Like, my problem's not, from what I get, my gallbladder is just like a witness to a serious crime.
Wait, Andy, how do you know that gallbladders become available all the time? Are you on some auction sites?
I'm just saying, mine's becoming available, and I don't.
But yours is damaged. That's why they're taking yours. Doesn't go on the market. Yours goes to the dog under the operating table.
I've never heard him say that my gallbladder is why, and I wish my daughter had more time to prepare to ask the surgeon questions, because she would ask stuff like that. Like, what's this gallbladder got to do with this? No, that's more my question. Hey, leave it alone, man.
But we decided the
Let
gallbladder's not
him
really
go.
necessary, right?
I guess.
I mean,
Well, the
gallbladder's
gallbladder
like,
is necessary.
yeah. How am I?
Gallbladder, the bile that comes out of there helps break down fatty foods and stuff.
Hmm?
So
So what am I
when
gonna
that's gone,
chew? Am I supposed
Now
to
Andy just
chew?
can't eat fatty foods anymore.
well, you'll have
I
to
know
take something. You probably have a bunch of medication that you're gonna have to take for the rest of your life that'll help
Cocaine.
mitigate
What?
those
What
messy
else are they gonna
ants.
throw at me? I got sleeping pills. I know I got a drug mule going to get the other stuff. Everybody's favorite mule heading across the border. Hong Kong Phooey. See, if I learned a little bit of that too. You know, that's why I didn't let that purple belt nerd. You know,
Hong Kong Phooey wasn't a discipline.
no, he had a great theme song. You know, great
Yeah.
come out of his file cabinets, right?
Yep.
I always enjoyed his
I
show.
think it was Scatman Crothers was the
Yep.
voice.
Absolutely.
Not of the dog, right? Wasn't he a sidekick?
Spot was the cat, striped cat.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah, Scatman Crothers was the voice of Hong Kong Phooey for sure.
That's who.
I'm
That's
reading about the gallbladder right now.
before Morgan Freeman. That's who you'd want to narrate your life, is Scatman Crothers.
But he's not who you want to see at a hotel.
No, fuck no. No, he can't help you.
Mm-mm.
What else did the gallbladder do?
The gallbladder, Shaylee, you were right. The gallbladder stores bile produced by the liver.
Yeah.
After meals, the gallbladder is empty and flat like a deflated balloon. Before a meal, the gallbladder may be full of bile and about the size of a small pear. In response to signals, the gallbladder squeezes stored bile into the small intestine through a series of tubes called ducts. Bile helps digest fats, but the gallbladder itself is not essential. Removing the gallbladder in an otherwise healthy individual typically causes no observable problems with health or digestion, yet there may be a small risk of diarrhea and fat malabsorption. You have diarrhea all the time anyway, right?
Yeah, I mean, this is really
That's
potato.
Not excessively.
Well,
The good news is your underwear is still going to look the same, I guess, is what he's saying.
Yeah.
Well, you know, I'm rotating. You know, you can't. Well, I'm getting more Saks underwear into the rotation. Is all. You know, you don't
need
want
to get
abuse.
you need to get some of the underwear that the B-Man's selling on the World Record Podcast
Yeah.
website. Have you seen his the underwear he sells? Shaylee,
No.
can you go see if
looking
you
it
can
up.
find it?
There's a,
Yeah.
I didn't get all the details, but there's a guy in Eugene who is naked and running with a diaper on his head. And he was blocking traffic for a while. And then it's like, I just read a little blurb on it. I should do more research on it.
Mhm.
But pretty exciting, right?
Yeah.
What,
Hobo Danny?
what level of, no, but I have heard from Danny. He's,
Yeah.
he is alive and well. And, I don't know. Yeah. He left me
That's
a
good.
message. Uh-huh. He's, I think he's in I don't know what he's up to. Maybe he'll hear us now that we're back on the YouTube in the longer chunks or whatever. And I got to acknowledge this because, you know, I don't want to drag everybody down. It's actually uplifting. But my daughter did the GoFundMe, and I was going to, and I didn't even know about it. And then I just saw a thing, and I thought she was asking if she could do it. And so I didn't pay any attention to it, and it really wasn't going that long. But then when I looked at it, it was already over its limit. So it's just like it took, and you know, like fast, like for fucking, you know, for my health, It's like, shit, thank you. I don't even, yeah, and so it keeps it's so now it's like almost double what she was asking. So that's
That's
amazing.
fantastic.
Like 3 or 4 days, and then so when I started to hear about it though, then I heard about the fires in Colorado, and then I was like, oh shit, that's in Delaney's area. So then I call her, and she's evacuating. This is to get out of their place because 100-mile-an-hour plus winds are whipping fucking grass fires and burning down neighborhoods. And she's starting to GoFundMe for me. And I'm like, oh, fuck it. So I'm hearing about it, and then I'm calling her and said they're fucking fleeing their house. And she goes, I may have to rewrite that GoFundMe, and they take off. So, but their house was not in the burn zone. It was not far from it. But that's, yeah. So your daughter was in there somewhere too,
She
right?
was right in there too. Yeah, she was back in Illinois when it was all happening, so that was
Oh,
good.
man.
But
Yeah.
yeah, that was right near where, pretty close to where she lives. She said that some of like the Costco. There was video of people
Yeah.
all, running out of a Costco.
Uh-huh.
As the smoke was rolling through, and it was that's the one she goes to.
And plus that
Wow.
running up against that wind,
Crazy.
which, you can't really prepare your kid for, okay, well, when you're in a,
This is your
I mean,
home. This
especially in Christmas, like after Christmas, it's insane. It's usually like, there's snow around there and stuff. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, she might as well have moved to New York City in 1999.
Yeah, that's crazy what happened in Colorado, man. That shit's just gonna keep happening.
Yeah, it's it's a good time to be. Well, I'm not gonna die. I'm gonna get fixed or whatever. Just have less organs. But well, man, at least he wasn't around for the water wars and the savage burn-offs. Well, he had cancer, but 2 weeks later, his whole town went up in flames.
Yup.
The ocean turned completely plastic. Just 6 months, he didn't get to see it. He could have walked on the ocean.
You could have walked to Japan.
You can walk anywhere. It's an inch of plastic that covers the whole ocean. So it's like a sheet of ice. No, we're gonna be okay. As long as we all stick together as a people, I think we'll be fine.
If we all watch the satire on Netflix, Don't Look Up, we'll all understand what's really at stake here, and we'll start taking this climate change thing seriously.
Yeah, don't fuck scientists. No, that was I enjoyed that. It's such close to how it feels, satire. That the president is that half-assed, engaged, doesn't, and you'd expect Jonas Barnes to be making wisecracks. Is that kid's name?
Jonah
Hill?
Fuck, man. I tried to come up with that fat kid's name, and he's not even as fat as he was. But the sidekick to Meryl
Jonah
Streep.
Hill.
Jonah Hill. God
Jonah
damn
Hill.
it. I get my fat kids actors confused with boy bands. And that happened to you? Donnie Wahlburgers.
Yeah, I thought the movie was all right. I thought it was a little bit
Yeah.
Parts that where it was just a little too ridiculous, but I guess that was the point. So, all right.
Yeah. Well, God damn it. You got
that. But I will say this. I thought that it was interesting to me that it's the first time I've ever seen Meryl Streep be the worst actor in the movie she's in. Because she wasn't good, I didn't think. And it seemed like to me she was doing the same character Julia Louis-Dreyfus did in Veep, only Veep is so much better than that. They should have just done Don't Look Up as an episode of Veep, and it would have been a lot better.
Maybe they don't think Netflix actually airs. It is just like they get the Netflix money and they're like, fucking mail it in.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not going to be in a real movie theater, so fuck it.
Yeah, it's like everybody gets this. I mean, you know, eventually you'll have to go Cobra Kai. And like in 1883, I like it's got Sam Elliott in it.
Oh,
that's
you're
all you
watching
need to know.
1883, huh?
1883, yeah.
That's the origin story for Yellowstone.
I don't
Now,
get how that.
is it any good, Andy? Because I
Yeah.
tried yesterday. I was like, I'm gonna watch this fucking Yellowstone. It's not a Western. I thought it was a fucking Western. It's
I
like
haven't
a
seen-
political
Falcon
drama.
Crest.
I
It's
know.
Falcon Crest in
Yes.
Dallas.
I made
Yeah.
it 8 minutes into that motherfucker and shut it off. I'm like, I can't watch this.
Well,
Yeah.
1880
see you.
1883 is. I don't get it. Must be the same family somehow.
Yeah,
but-
It's the same family.
prequel.
Their origin story.
So this is like a wagon train story, and it takes a couple to get to really appreciate it. There's so you know, stupid immigrants. Sam Elliott being Sam Elliott, you know.
Taylor,
God.
the whole thing is written by Taylor Sheridan, who also wrote Yellowstone, who writes some of the most ham-fisted, idiotic bullshit that you've ever seen.
Okay.
Yellowstone is exactly what Shaylee said. It's Falcon Crest. It's not a Western. It's a fucking soap opera.
Yes.
But if you watch it knowing that, and you kind of, like Mitchell and I watch it, because we like hate watch it, you know, like we watch it and we laugh and we're like, oh shit. Because in Yellowstone, they are killing people all of the time. And if even a tenth of the amount of murders happened in real life, the FBI would be in Montana trying to figure out what the fuck is going on, because they just kill everybody and then there's no repercussions at all. So I haven't seen 1883. We watched an episode of it in Florida over Christmas. My mother-in-law is watching it, but you know, it felt like the same thing. It felt like
You can't hate
really
can't hate
over
the
the top
family yet.
obvious.
till they get the land, I guess. Tug McGraw, rugged outdoorsman.
Tim McGraw.
Tim
Tim
McGraw.
McGraw.
Tug McGraw is his old
Tug
man.
McGraw dead.
Yeah, well, it's
Hey, what's
there-
the prequel called? I'm trying to look for a picture of it. I don't know anything about it.
1883.
18.
83, and there's been a cool, what is it, cameo. I had to look it up in episode 2. You're like, no, can that be kind of cameo? I won't ruin it because it's, you know, the joy of discovery.
It's the only
Gee,
good part of the show.
I'm at episode 3. I'm kind of into it.
Mhm.
So, and that, I mean, shit, I'm gonna be needing to fucking. I might even have to dive into Yellowstone.
Yeah.
Hold on,
Yellow-
hold on.
Yellowstone
Don't be
should have been
desperate.
good, because the first episode of Yellowstone, Chad, you didn't make it through it, but you watched the first one, and I thought, all right, this might be okay, because there's the whole first episode, there's a conflict between the ranchers and the Indians, and the cattle go from the ranch goes over onto the Indian land, and then they can't get them back because it's fucking, you know, that's Indian land.
Sovereign nation.
And then they have a battle, and a couple people get shot and killed, and because of the dynamic of who shoots who, it's like, oh, this could actually be really, really good. And then instead of focusing on that and making it like a, you know, like a morality play on should this have happened, does anyone feel remorse, it just goes on to just killing everybody else and bringing in characters from the outside, killing them, you know.
Well, some families,
the family,
you know,
the family in Yellowstone is taking people who come to work on the ranch and then killing them and then just taking them to a cliff and dumping them off of a cliff. That's how
what
they
I
get
did
rid
with
of bodies.
That's what I did with Drowsy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You get rid of them.
Exactly.
You don't want them on the property, and you chuck them away.
Eventually, there's going to be a pile of drowsies down there.
Yeah. Yeah, that was like that one. I don't know. It's like some shows, there's just such a high body count. It's like, we've never had no murders out this way. Well, you got 30 or so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Seems like quite a few.
Yeah. At one point in Yellowstone, the one son is made like the agriculture commissioner or something just because they said so. Like he didn't have to run or anything. But then some guys come in to his office and try to shoot. He flips his desk over, shoots them all, gets away. There's no news coverage of it. It's never mentioned again. It's like, wouldn't somebody have mentioned that happened?
They'd be talking about it around the pickle barrel at the very least.
Yeah. Hey, the softball team didn't show up. We're supposed to play.
Yeah, no repercussions at all.
Well, it's a different time.
Yeah.
Find a picture of Taylor Sheridan, Shaylee. You take a look at this guy and you'll see why. He's just looks like the kind of guy who wears like affliction t-shirts and thinks he's a cowboy. He's a real douchebag.
Wow.
That's the guy's real name?
Taylor Sheridan, yeah.
Yeah. Okay,
Yeah.
I got it. Yeah, here.
Oh, that's the guy who wrote it. You said, yeah.
Uh-huh.
I locked the cat
I
up.
picked up those vibes right away in Yellowstone. I'm like, I'm not watching some douchebag wrote this. I'm not watching this.
Mitchell can't handle the fact that Kevin Costner talks in a voice like this all the time.
Like Batman?
Like that. Yeah.
He sounds like the Batman.
I think it's great.
Everything I couldn't even make it as long as Chad did because it just triggered me.
When you said fucking Falcon Crest or whatever, that fucking nailed it so good, Shaylee.
I mean, you can watch it for that, but don't be deceived thinking it's going to be some kind of shoot 'em up or something with a plot line or something. It's going to be one of these soap opera type dramas.
It does have Cole Hauser, and he's the fucking best. I love that guy. And he's great in it. He's the best one. He's the one who really seems like a real cowboy. And the whole show should be about him. But
that's the guy who chased the wild horse just before I shut it off, I think.
Might be. Yeah, he's like the right
description.
So I like him. The long flowing hair libretard of the
No, he's on the horse.
He's the real rough and tumble, actual ass kicking cowboy there he is.
This guy.
Yeah. Yeah, you'll remember him from Dazed and Confused.
Really?
Maybe.
What?
He was the redheaded lineman on the football team who told Pink he better fucking not quit the team.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
That's a good.
Yeah, he's
amazing.
fucking great, man. I love Cole Hauser.
So was he not even redheaded?
Yeah, I think he actually is a redhead. I don't know.
Huh. Yeah. I just that wasn't a big role, but I do remember that dude in that movie.
Yeah, he's good in that.
Yeah, I got him right here. It didn't look like
there
him
he is.
when I first saw him, but yeah, right here in the blue jersey.
Yep.
Although
I almost believe that's the same dude.
Well, the guy in the overalls reminds me of a guy who would hang out with my brother, and he actually murdered a dude. And who's like this guy. He bounced around from home to home. And he lived at our house, and he tried to kick in my door. He kicked in my door, and I wasn't in there, and it was one of the Gilbert chicks. This family would stay at our place, and they would take up our space. And Cindy Gilbert was in my room, and Mark Vermillion kicked in the door, and he was naked. Now, did he know that Cindy was in my room, or was he hoping I was in there? But for whoever it was a dicks out fucking lecture that mixed religion and threats. So Mark was one of our guests. And after that, he wasn't really one of our guests anymore. Mark moved on. And then I ran into him when my dad was in the hospital. I would stay around places because they would all be out of town. And I stayed at the Cochran Ranch, and Mark Vermillion was out there. And he hit a horse that I was sitting on and sent me flying off of the back of a horse into a big pile of fucking muck and shit.
Wait a minute.
Hold on. There'll be a Q&A at the end.
Yeah, all right. Keep going.
So,
Is that it, Andy?
No, that was another interaction with Mark Vermillion. And then many years later, I was at Harvey's Comedy Club, and I don't know how he saw my name, because I don't think I would ever headline there. But I was on something, and he saw my name. I hadn't seen Mark in decades, and he was like the crazy guy that was the middle linebacker in football, and you know, so he was a fucking scary dude. And then he'd kind of snap and make threats and shit, and then he'd back off like, you know, it's just kidding, you know, fucking. But he terrified me. And so then, anyway, I'm at Harvey's Comedy Club, and I step outside. I hear a commotion. I'm just hanging in the back, and then somebody was like, "Do you have anybody on your guest list?" And I said, "No." And then anyway, I find out it was Mark Vermillion, and he was out there with another. He was out there. So Mark was homeless. He'd been to prison for murder. That's all I knew. He was in prison for murder, and so he pops up and he wants in on my guest list. And no, and I'm like, you know, no, no. I mean, I don't have a guest list, and if I did, like that would be a short list of who the fuck I would not want around, like the Mark Vermillion, the dude who kicked in my door naked and made threats to Cindy Gilbert. Through, you know, like I think they were intended for me. I don't know. Anyway,
I think the most egregious was the smacking the horse.
The worst thing was could have killed me.
Flew off a horse.
Yeah, I got involved in lots of farm hijinks or misadventures. And I don't think I was there that long, but I did not like it. Shoveling shit. And there was a bat got blown away the first night I was staying there. There was a bat in the room, and then one of the brothers came in and blasted it with a shotgun.
What?
It's like, that's the room I gotta sleep in.
Wait, you're staying at like a camp or something, and there's live rounds?
The Cochran Ranch. Yeah, they were, you know, I mean, they had Mark Vermillion there, but there was also a loose element around with the boys. You know.
So all right,
that's were full of fucking hijinks and drugs, and
so
people
how old were you? Like a teenager?
I was like in fifth grade. Me and I was a fourth grader, and John Cochran was a fifth grader, and he got moved to my school, and I don't know how our moms knew each other, but so I was to be look out for him and be his friend. And he was a fifth grader popping in. So he didn't really need my help or whatever. He's a fourth grader. Okay, man, I vouch for him. He can play kickball with me anytime.
Give him a chocolate milk. He's cool.
Yeah. So somehow that led to me staying out at their place, and like my mom would drive to California, and John would float around or whatever. I don't know where, you know, like John stayed at the house, but anyway, I would need a place to stay. So I would go out at this ranch, and that's what happened. I got a fucking bat, you know, blood on the ceiling, and they wiped it down after a day or so, but you could still see where it happened. But just like getting my foot.
So they had a bat. They had a bat flying around in the room.
In the house?
Yeah, in the fucking came in through, you know. It's a dairy ranch.
They discharged a firearm in the house?
It was like something that didn't blow a hole. It wasn't like a shotgun. It had maybe like salt.
You called it a shotgun.
Well,
What's-
it blasted
so it's
it
called
to
like a
pieces, but it didn't blast through the.
salt
you know?
rock or whatever. Rock
Oh,
salt.
a salt
It
gun.
seemed like something they were ready for.
Get the bat gun, boys.
There's 11, just
The Bat Militia.
I mean, I guess I was like the equivalent of a city kid, even though I grew up in a hick town. But going out to a dairy ranch and having to participate and stuff, like get up early in the morning and I don't even know what the fuck I was doing, but I was helping, out at a dairy ranch. I know I scooped shit. Maybe that was the only job duty I had because that's all I remember.
How did you end? But at some point, you ended up on a horse, and
Yeah.
then Mark Vermillion
Yeah.
showed up and smacked
Well,
the horse, and you fell off.
I was doing some horseback riding, and and he was a funny guy. I also got whipped off of it by I think it was just by accident by his brother whipping a branch back into me riding the horse. Like no, I fell off
So,
the
like-
horse a couple of times and it didn't hurt. Oddly, like everybody thought I should have been hurt, and I was like, I was pretty agile, you know. I could take a spill.
Hold on. I've ridden horses a lot, Andy, and I've never fallen off once. I don't think you can say you fell off a horse a couple of times and then followed up with "I'm pretty agile."
Well,
Good at this.
I didn't get stepped on. I didn't get
But
hurt
listen-
badly. I kind of when the branch hit me, I kind of went with the branch, and I didn't really fall.
Falling off of a horse backwards when someone smacks the horse's butt and the horse takes off,
That
and then subsequently later falling off of a horse because it's running and you get hit by a branch and it knocks you off of the horse
well, I was on a
are
trail.
the two most classic ways to fall off of a horse.
Yeah.
Those
Well,
are like-
Both of those on Benny Hill for sure.
it's like the yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Sorry.
maybe that's what inspired it. But I don't think. I think John probably said, "Watch out for the branch," but I was like that. I just only heard what I heard.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
didn't listen.
We know how
Sometimes
that
I
is. We're
So
aware of that.
I got a branch that whipped into me, and the branch hit me, and I held onto the branch and fell much lighter. Is what we come up with on why I didn't get hurt. They they come back, and the brothers. There was another one behind, and everybody was curious as to how I didn't get hurt or whatever, but hung onto that branch. I was new to horseback riding, so I trusted. I trusted the branch as much or more so than the horse. And that split second, I only had a split second to determine which science I wanted to go with.
I'm on Team Tree.
Yeah, I'm with the tree. I've been on more trees than horses.
The tree won't try to shake you off by rubbing you up against a horse, at least. So you're good with that.
Yeah, there's always that. Oh, and I walked in on one of the ladies at that ranch naked. Oh, she's a high school girl, so she was like, little
Wait, now,
shot.
did you really? Was it an accident, or was it like when you were delivering
No,
papers,
I don't
trying to
think I
get
would
the
have.
old ladies in their bathrobes?
She was, anyway, it wasn't, I don't know. I don't think I walked in there on purpose. It was like it's just a crowded ranch.
This sounds like another really sketchy situation.
Yeah.
in
whole-
Coquille,
my whole
like there's
that whole
always these
period-
weird things
I'm
happening in your town.
Porkies,
Dude.
as far as Porkies,
Yeah,
there
there's like a
was-
bunch of
there
people
was-
out at
there-
this dairy ranch.
we could write that in because there was a bar in Coquille that there was a fat dude who ran a poker game out of the back of it, and his name was fucking Doc, and we called it Doc Rules because we caught him cheating and he caught us cheating, but we just tried not to get caught. And he was a very porky-esque fella. We called it Doc Rules. I was like, yeah, let's go down and play Doc Rules poker. If you ganged up on him, you could win. But he I'm guessing he's dead of a heart attack. He had jowls and ate biscuits and gravy a lot. I don't think he's around.
Ah,
He's around. I'm full of cancer.
So let's switch gears. Let's hear some Vegas stories.
Yeah, Chad was on stage.
Yeah.
How'd that go, Chad?
I thought it went. I mean, it wasn't great, but I thought it went as well as as it should be expected.
So, Chad, what
Yeah.
you were asked to start the show off. Hennigan would go out and get all the niceties out of the way. Hi, welcome. No cameras, no this, no that. We'll do photos after from the stage, whatever. So, Chad, you just are tasked with starting the show. So, what did you think you were going to do, and how did you prepare?
This sounds funny.
I like this already.
If I learned one thing and I try to apply it as much as possible, and I'm not always successful, but from being on podcasts with funny people, what I should do most of the time is say something that's mildly witty and then shut the fuck up and get out of the way. So that was my plan and what I wanted to do. And I went with a self-deprecating story, very quick, about why, I figure people might be questioning why I was up there. So I told them a theory. I thought it was, kind of witty. It was all right. I felt pretty good about myself. I walked back through the curtains to see Stanhope fucking laughing his ass off in his hands. And then I was like, okay, then I must have done okay. At which point Junior is now on stage and Stanhope leans into me and says, "You just stepped all over Junior's opening bit." And I immediately felt incredibly horrible and fucking retarded.
And Junior, what was the bit?
Yeah. How's that possible?
Well,
That's not
it's
where I
easy
got the
enough.
story was
Chad,
going at all.
just do your open.
Yeah. So I just told him I didn't know why I was up there either. But I had a theory. I said, how sometimes they'll give the retarded kid the football and everybody lets him run a touchdown.
Uh-huh.
I think I'm the retarded kid. The problem is that I just kept showing up at practice all dressed out and nobody knew how to tell me that I wasn't on the fucking team. And I just ended up sticking around for a lot longer is the gist of it.
Yeah.
But apparently Junior had something else that was similar to that to open with, and I was not aware of that.
Oh,
And,
yeah.
In my
funny.
defense, while we were in the green room, I actually thought of that, which is a very odd thing for me to think of, because that would be arrogant. You'd be like, oh, you think you might have thought of something that one of these funny motherfuckers thought of? No, you didn't, dumbass. So, but I did have that thought. And so without giving away what I was going to say in the green room before the show, I said, I'm just going to do a quick analogy about being the retarded guy who runs the football in. And that was it. And then nobody said, hey, don't do that because that'll fuck everything up. So I assumed it was okay.
Yeah.
I walked in and I was running around because I was in the back of the room and then, doing what I usually do. So I'm not in the green room a lot, but I did pop in and Chad was going through the beats of what he was going to do. And Junior's sitting right there. And I look at Junior. Junior looks at me and Junior doesn't give me like a screwed up face or anything. He's just like listening. I go, oh, I guess it's okay then, because I'm hearing it going like, maybe Junior's cool. He's going to do a callback to that.
Right.
I thought maybe they worked something out. And then I just left the room. And then when Junior went up and did basically the same thing Chad did.
It's like when a boy band has two guys singing about the same chick. Could have gone up.
I went from feeling really, really high to really, really dumb real quick. It was a great transition.
What's even funnier is that, you did Junior's bit and you thought of it 2 minutes before you went out with no preparation, you did the same bit that
Junior
he's
has
worked
a big-
on and prepared, and professional comedian's been doing the road. He's been knocking the joke around, tweaking it, dropping things.
Chad's
So
a
that
natural, you're
five,
saying.
5 minutes before the show, you're like, I got an idea.
I know
Oh,
one
man,
thing
what
is I am no lighting guy. Damn.
a-
Keep fucking with it.
Yeah,
No, I'm gonna turn it off. Watch that.
there
Okay.
you go.
That's fine.
All right.
The funny
Yeah.
thing was, before
Fuck
I
these
went up
lights.
there, I had bragged that I was in the unique position where I could not fuck up. If I went up there and got fucking scared and tongue-tied and fucking couldn't say anything at all and looked like an idiot, everybody would still be like, look at Chad, he's an idiot, you know, he did good. We understand. He's, you know, I would still be all right. So I couldn't fuck up, and I found the only way
The
possible that I
only
could fuck up.
way. Yeah, I
Yeah.
don't know why Junior didn't say anything. I don't know why Doug didn't say anything.
Oh, I know why Doug didn't.
I agree with Henny.
But I don't.
Well, okay, yeah.
I don't know why Junior didn't say something.
I can see Junior being in his own world, not even being aware.
He's
We
also
talked about it afterwards, and
Yeah.
Junior said, I just thought he'd probably forget what he was going to say anyway and not actually be able to follow through with it. I don't know if that's really what he felt, but that was what he said.
And I love Junior. It's like he doesn't even pivot and like not just like, fuck, I can't do that now. It's not the hugest chunk. It is a good part of his opener, but it is one of those things that you just steamroll it. Just gotta go.
you got to
go through
be
it.
able to see. Here, this is the thing. I mean, Chad didn't do anything wrong. That's the thing.
No,
you have to be
Chad
able to.
doesn't
You have to be
know.
ready for that. There could be
Yeah.
any one of a number of openers that Junior follows on the road that they don't run their whole act by you. You just have to be
Yeah.
able to follow whatever goes in front of you. Somebody does that bit, you have to figure out a way to either make your bit still relevant.
Speaking
and
of,
tag it,
as
or just
Brett was
not-
saying earlier,
right,
that's an easy one.
right.
What was
Chad,
your
mention
opener? Who's your
retards.
opener again? The guy, the chicken guy. What he said.
Yeah,
Speaking of that,
I think
well,
he
the
could have
road.
made. But he might have been able to turn that into a callback about
Right.
that,
Mhm.
about like, hey, and the guy we got back here, the guy who opened the show. You know, I mean, yeah, there could have been something
Yeah.
there.
All
But
you
no.
got to do is go out there and say, you know how sometimes the football team lets the retarded kid have the ball and score a touchdown? Well, this team has 2 retarded kids.
Yeah. Two retarded kids, and then if that doesn't work, we got some cancer survivors who are gonna come trotting out here. Oh, and some gunshot survivors.
I had 3
Oh.
different little things that I could fucking say when I went out. That's the fucking one I chose.
That's funny.
You and Junior are nice bookends, though. If those were the retarded kids, I'd be worried about what the normals look like. You see those two guys get off the bus, you're like, oh fuck. That's the guys you put up front to go get off
Yeah.
the bus for, just to intimidate. Shit.
We're gonna lose.
Yeah. Fuck yeah. You know.
So
you-
did Paulie stick around for the New Year's
Oh
show and
boy,
make an appearance?
no.
He's a resident of Vegas now, so
Is he?
yeah, he moved there.
That's how we got out of the
The
Palooza.
Palooza.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't see the Polypalooza.
I did.
It looked festive, like you know.
Well, what it was, I didn't know that I had every intention of going, and then we just we ended up having a nice dinner, and then we had drinks. Everyone kind of met up in this one area. We had drinks, and then we had dinner, and then I just was tired. It was the day before, and then I knew
so
Chad was with a bunch of guys that were going to go out and we're going to go to it, but I didn't know anything about it or anything like that. I guess Paulie
Is it-
goes on stage with a bunch of like 60-year-old musicians, and he sings cover tunes.
Oh my
Parts.
God.
Parts of cover tunes, not even the whole song.
Yeah.
He just does a little bit, and then he does a little bit of free association off the top of his head.
Pretty cool
then-
jacket.
Uh-huh.
I don't know what.
I've seen him do that before. I've seen him do something like that before at a comedy club, and it's just the worst thing you've ever seen. You know, everyone used to give Mitzi Shore credit because she had something very wise. She had on her desk framed a piece of paper that had like some wise words on it, and she went by everyone would always mention that Mitzi Shore said it's a sin. What is, I have to try to get it exactly. I don't be able to get it exactly right. It's a sin to encourage mediocre talent.
Mhm.
And
Huh. Ironic.
yeah.
Well, how was the Palooza part?
Well, I guess there were. I mean, I wasn't there, but Hack Oddity was there, and I think April was in there, and they said it was interesting in that it was kind of a spectacle, but it was also sad. And I'm like, well, I really need to see that for myself. I can't. So I don't know how.
There was a
but
lot
were
of
a couple
people in
go-go
there.
girls dancing.
When I refused to go in, there was a lot of people.
It's pretty. Is it? Do you think it was papered?
It was free.
No, it was free. Yeah.
So,
So yes, the answer is yes. It was papered.
yeah.
So everyone got their money's
Yeah.
worth.
Yeah.
Oh no. Hang on. Relax. No, Palooza. I lost some photos. I lost some heads there, Chad. Or did I
Huh?
get lost?
Oh no, I'm here.
You're there. You're a little
You froze
blurry,
for a
but
second, Andy.
Yeah, everything went fucking shitty. It's like drugs. When your Skype freezes up, you
Speaking
don't know
of
it.
drugs, this was the one for you to miss, Andy. There was zero partying with anybody. I was in bed at 11
Yeah.
when Palooza was going on.
So,
After the show,
yeah, I was
I
thinking about,
texted
like,
Stanhope the next day. I looked and I had texted Stanhope at 1:30 and was like, "I'm headed to bed. See you later." Like, so it was there was not any
yeah.
hanging out with people. It was all very COVID-y.
Were people
Yeah.
wearing masks in there?
Oh, you had to.
Yeah. So it would feel. Yeah. What do you man? Man, it must be tough. And I froze up again.
yeah, we're losing you a little bit, buddy.
Or all of you. Why is that? I didn't let the cat in, and now fucking hell.
Oh yeah, the cat has some. Yeah, you should ask the cat. Yeah, see if the cat is
Cat's losing all
standing
my
on
Yeah,
the. He's standing on the cable to let the ones and O's through.
You need Starlink.
No, but he's kind of fucking. Is that it? Fucking Starlink.
Starlink is Elon Musk's venture into internet
Yes, it is.
connectivity, and
So-
Chad has it.
So fucking amazing.
I don't know
Really?
why we don't get it, but I'm still not eligible. I checked; they got my money, but
I put
That's
in
about it.
February
Check around.
of 2020 to get it in
Yeah,
December.
I put in right when you did.
Yeah.
Yeah, but this area isn't. It's not available yet in this area.
No.
It's a test area out where you're at.
Yes.
Well, shit.
So yeah, we'll find out more later.
You saw what
Soon.
happened with 5G, and you're just going to keep going ahead with this? This technology is fucking shit up. You know, it's a good soundtrack for today and these days is, you guys know Danny Elfman,
Yeah.
of course. His Big Mess, have you heard that? It's something he put out like during COVID, but it's like if you were to score how shitty life is as a whole thing, it's really fascinating. I've been listening to it the last few days.
Is it a
It's,
podcast?
No, it's a whole.
Oh, it's an
whole
album.
It's on YouTube. You can watch the whole.
Got it.
Give the whole thing a listen, and it's like pretty fucking. There's some. It's like kind of a masterpiece of sorts. And I haven't, I got a hold of my old roommate in college because we used to give him shit because he was like really into Oingo Boingo and Scritti Politti, but he dressed, like we gave him shit about stuff, and I
Turns out he was right.
And I called him up and I said, "Hey man, dude, I'm sorry about that. Dissing Oingo Boingo. Danny Elfman's a musical genius. I was way out of fucking line. I didn't understand he was writing, writing from a different perspective on some of those songs. I don't take Lyle Lovett for like, God damn it, Lyle Lovett fucks penguins. I get it now, But yeah, it kind of was. It's
what you're talking about.
Me neither, really. That's what the edibles are, helping me with.
Well, the album cover is fucking pretty kick-ass.
Yeah, the album cover.
I'm pulling it up right now. It looks like there's only like 6 songs on it.
I think there's a few more happy.
No, I've got 18 on the one.
Oh, okay, YouTube. Yeah, maybe this just.
It really does sound like he's scoring. This. It's just like it's like some songs are big and epic, and others are transition songs, and music and stuff. But it's like it's like a whole opus or something. Yeah, and look at that freaky cover.
Yeah, that's wild.
That's some Oingo Boingo shit, motherfuckers. It's a dead man's fucking party, yo.
Well, I'll definitely check that out, Andy.
Listen to that. I almost sent Stanhope one of the songs there.
He won't listen to it.
He won't listen.
It's like it reminds me of Ziggy Stardust kind of thing too.
Oh, that's good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Doug won't listen to it until he listens to it, and then he'll be like, "Oh, this is the best shit ever." Fuck him and his Johnny Come Lately pancake ass.
Most of the songs are over 4 minutes, and one is 7. So yeah, Stanhope wouldn't even start to listen to one of them.
Yeah, well, he misses out on some of that stuff. I'll be listening to, I don't know, my daughter's fixing me up some tunes and shit to have in my recovery. It's not like I'm quitting drugs. So, in fact, I'm going in for liquids.
You're just lowering your tolerance is all you're doing, Andy.
Yeah, it's like when they burn the heroin with a thing and it's a liquid. That's what I'm getting, basically. Just without all the street clutter. Like if you could control the streets, you'd have them in wearing nursing outfits and everything just kind of a blur.
Fuck.
So are you doing any I mean, it's kind of clear with what you've been saying. You're not really doing any more like research into what's getting done. You're just going to show up, right?
No,
that's Delaney's area.
Yeah, Delaney says this guy gets good accreditation. She knows a dietitian who works with him. I don't know, it's all hearsay, but I'm not getting a second opinion because it's out of network.
Yeah.
So it'd be pretty expensive just to hear their, like, hey, well, so cut it out or burn it out. I'm just I'm going to Vietnam and I got headphones on and they're like, hey, don't go through that field. Like, fuck you. I'm fine, man. Fucking leave me alone. Boom. And then I'm just in a room. Chopper me out, man. I'll probably say that a lot to my nurse. It's like, just chopper me out. I'm ready to go home.
Fuck.
Yeah, I'm not doing, I'm just going to go in and get knocked out. So if I start thinking about what the fuck is going to happen when I wake up, it's like, it's like you're in a horror movie and you stop and ask directions and that fucking geek has me on a fucking table and he's rattling chains and starting up shit. Just knock me the fuck out is all. You know, that's what they want to hear, the screams, not the surgeons, the other guy.
Well, hopefully your brother's praying for the surgeon. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I can't pray, Andy. I don't know how to pray for you, but I
Well,
will.
you gotta-
I'm doing one other thing that's really close to it. I just know you're going to be fine. So I have faith.
I can tell you how to pray, though.
Everything's going to be all right with you, and we'll be hanging
pray,
out, you know, like nothing
pray,
ever
you go.
happened.
You pray, you put your hands up, and then you blink, or you shut your eyes, and then you go. And then, it's like
how is that
throwing-
again?
It's like, well, it's like, you know, kind of like Bionic Man, but you kind of just throw mental glitter. But then you try to direct that mental glitter in the form of positive.
Wait, can I do with my arms up? Because I think that sounds
No,
like it
no.
worked with like antenna.
Well,
like I
that's
could
why-
send out more signal.
No. You got to have your hands folded in because you could focus. And then, but people who without hands, they can't pray.
They
God
can't just
doesn't listen to the
stumps
handle.
up.
Oh no, they can't ask for God's help. No, you got to have him in front of your face, head bowed.
Stumps up for Jesus.
You know, don't look
Well, I've got
around.
some mushrooms saved up for the 20th, so that way I can have a more direct line when I send my prayers. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
Dude.
Wish in one hand, shit in another. And that's all she wrote. But if I wake up on a catapult and then somebody just like injects me with heroin, I'm like, what? Warm blanket? And then I'm like, okay, cool. This is part of my dream. I don't know, you know, about the fire part. I think that comes later.
I did see they have at Bed Bath and Beyond they do have
Catapults?
no, they have towel warmers.
Oh yeah.
You can actually get a towel warm. I mean, usually you just put it in the dryer, right? But they have a thing where you like you roll it up into like a log and you stick it in the thing, and they probably do a little wet heat on that just to like make it not so abrasive.
Get you one of those. That'd be nice.
I figured like this 5 days in the hospital, you know, I mean, I'm not going to harass nurses. Lord knows there's saints and Brett's daughters in the ranks, but I bet it's you know, you get probably more attention from nurses because there isn't all the distractions of fucking people going to the, you know, like my mom used to do it and we'd just go sit in the hospital room with my dad and I bet he didn't like it. Like, hey man, you know, how's it going, Dad? And you know, you know, he's there recovering or whatever. And he probably, but I plan on just sleeping and then working him for drugs. Like, you know, it's like, just, you know, I might even get a T-shirt and just say my pain level is 11. Don't ask me what my pain level is. My pain threshold is 2. I can't take it, but I can take a lot.
I think you got to plan that out, Andy. You don't want to come in hot every time. Maybe bite the bullet a little bit, and then today's a bad day. Yeah, 11 today.
You gotta walk the line. Yeah,
you know those old westerns where they're just like, give me a slug of whiskey. Well, they didn't have like IV drips of morphine back then, apparently, because they would be like, no, fuck that whiskey shit. Give me the morphine. Give me the drip.
Well,
yo.
they had
it
too.
Fuck man. Yeah, it's just bullshit. Hollywood bullshit.
I mean, they didn't have anesthesia until after the Civil War, though. So
John Wayne
had things to knock you out, but it's, you know,
John Wayne got a lot of people killed with misinformation on his podcast. Plain and simple, John Wayne was a misinformed fucking drunken dope who said a lot of shit about cows that he probably shouldn't have.
On his podcast, Wayne's World.
Wayne's World. Yeah.
Andy, I'm with you though. If I'm in the hospital, I don't want people coming to see me. Like, I know it's like, it's the thought that counts. Like Like, you want to go see someone in the hospital so that they know that you're thinking about them and that you care about them and that you want them to get better. But the actual act of them being in the room with you is just a pain in the ass for everybody. Like, if you're the one in the hospital, I don't want a bunch of people in there.
And
I don't wanna-
they don't want to be there.
They
'cause
don't wanna
you've
be
been the
there.
person sitting in there visiting
Yes.
them, going, "I don't want to fucking be here."
Yeah,
Right.
you know,
Yeah.
and it's like I'm just gonna sit over here. You recover, or whatever, and you know, I'll figure it out. You know, I'll have the I'll have
Just
my
tell them, come
shit
back if
plugged
I'm
in.
dying. I don't want to die alone. But if I'm not
Uh-huh.
dying, leave me the fuck alone.
Yeah.
Yeah, and if I'm dying, then put me on Zoom. I'll do that. I'll hold. I'll go back on my Zoom referendum, and I'll Zoom. I'll do a full-on Zoom party.
Yeah, well, you can't die, Andy, because you can't have your last show be the Falcos show.
Yeah.
So that's already that can't happen.
That'd be like where you end
Yeah.
up. As I was thinking about who, like, you know, as a like, I don't want to be a ghost, but that would be a whole. Wouldn't that suck? Is to go like, oh, I'm at Falco's. Wait, no, I just did this, right? I know. Go in. Hey, do you want to do a shot? Oh, okay, I'll do a couple. Yeah, let me have another.
That would be a funny place to haunt, though, if you do die, to go haunt Falcos and be like, who's that? Oh, that's some comic that did a set here a couple years ago. He fucking bombed and he was wasted.
Why
How
is he
awful.
moaning? He's not allowed to get over to the strip club side. He has to stay over on the comedy
Has to
side. He
stay
can't
there.
even see tits in the afterlife.
I was just
Because
gonna.
someone says his name 3 times and that we don't remember his name.
What am I doing here? Says had a Star. Uh-oh. I don't know my mic. I sound like Star Wars for a
Somebody's
second.
mic is bad.
Sounded, hey, and by the way, I don't want to, you know, well, I mean, James Inman has been a fine friend lately, but he looks like Boba Fett, who's made to look worse, like his, you know. But anyway, if you see that show, think, oh, that's kind of James in, like it's a anti-hero, but that's what they're drawing up, anti-heroes. That's what they're casting these days. Like James Inman, if he was the James Inman we cast in the Unbookables, all young and, you know, what was that, 25, 30 years ago we did the Unbookables? Like Inman
Seems like it.
was, you know, a young Marlon Brando. But now, you know, I don't see him. And, you know, he's not a grandpa in a Disney thing. So what do you do with him?
I forgot when you said Boba Fett, I was thinking that you said Jabba the Hutt. That's what I'm like. Yeah, well, you know, we all get older and we get bigger. And...
Yeah, young Jabba. Or is it? Yeah, okay.
Yeah, you owe me money.
You're talking about this guy, right? The Book of Boba Fett
Yep.
Yeah.
guy on the screen.
Mm-hmm. Like a more handsome Inman. Like Inman's not
Clearly.
Inman,
Yeah.
if he took care of himself.
I think.
I mean, they probably look the same when he puts the helmet on.
Yeah. Well, I know I don't get how he wears the helmet without it fucking up his head, but they must have like cool padding in those.
It would be funny if you turned that show on and Boba Fett had a Kenworth fucking
Oh
cap
man,
on.
I fucking hated wearing helmets or hard hats or anything like that. And pull it off, and he should have all fucking rings and shit in there.
And then that picture right there, Boba Fett looks like he's got a dip of Copenhagen in.
I was
so
just
Yeah, it
thinking the
does.
same thing, Erickson. He does. Andy, you're kind of spot on there.
I know. Yeah, I think Disney's spying on. You know, they finally got around to watching Greyhound Diaries.
wait, so
wait a
so it hasn't been the CIA that's been spying on Inman. It's been Disney.
Well, some
That would fuck him up even more.
Some low level
owned by
Disney.
the CIA.
Disney sent a low level employee to dig through his shit, and then they did it cyberly, and they found out his character is actually just 1 or 2 degrees away from perfect for Disney. You know? I bet Boba Fett gets mad about stuff. He probably has a sensitive side too. It's like, that's fucking Inman. You owe him some money. Pay Inman or pay us and we'll give it to him. But that character, oh, what about the part where Boba Fett just sneaks into that girl's apartment and takes her pills? It's all been done before, Disney. Shame on you. Shame on you for taking from a small mom and pop operations that Inman thought of himself.
Yeah. So it's the what is the show? The Unbookable Boba Fett. What is it? The Book of Boba Fett. There's got to be some
Book
way to
of
work
Boba
that.
Fett, yeah.
Yeah, there's got to be some way to combine those
The
two.
Boba Fett Diaries. I just thought there was a scene where I was watching the whole thing, and then there was a scene where he's drinking something that this alien gives him, and then I go, oh, that's where I've seen that guy. I was like, he's in the desert drinking a cup of piss. Or that's what made me go, oh, there it is. That's James Inman. Disney stole from the, like the Unbookables. A lot of people have seen it. It's on Amazon. Comedy Dynamics.
Yeah.
Sandwich between Yakov Smirnoff and Jimmy Dynamite Walker's latest specials. It's, so it's very conceivable, or it's very like somebody from Disney probably saw that. And then, they're like, you're at a sketch table and you're coming up with who's under that helmet. Who do you want? Do you want Sean Rouse? You want a big
if it's a bounty hunter, it's got to be Lipsky.
Too dangerous.
Right? Boba Fett was a bounty hunter, right?
Didn't test well.
Yeah.
That's got to be Lipsky. Well,
didn't test well with most markets.
It was a little too dark.
Yeah, a little too sinister. They wanted Boba Fett to be more of a pussy. So they went with a chew dipping, fucking pill popping. Yeah, no, you'd want him to go up against the Travis Lipsky.
Yeah,
that'll season finale, and it probably will be. I have a sick feeling about it. Just like I did the Macarena. When I first heard that, I was like, oh, fuck no. If this thing catches on, it's really gonna suck. So yeah, fucking James Inman's a hero again. He was the hero of the Unbookables. Everybody who saw it that way. Like, James Inman was a hero. And it's a modern day Western.
So it's that Western Chad was looking for.
Yeah.
Andy just keeps baiting me, and he wanted me to watch that fucking dog one.
Power of Dog.
Yeah.
Oh, shit, his mic sounded weird to me right
Yeah,
I'm gonna switch over to the other one.
Okay, see, but
I thought he was doing a Boba Fett.
I know, it fits perfectly. Jabba, where should we go to, man? Hey, do you know of any cool bars to go to, Jabba?
You're mixing it. I'm not Jabba. I thought my character was Boba Fett.
Shawnee Rouse should appear as and then I would like to see Shawnee Rouse cast in this.
Shawnee Rouse is Jar Jar.
Yeah. My son's a Jabberwocky. Sean Rouse was great in Men in Black. Was it 2?
Yeah.
This cutscene.
He got cut.
Well, he was in a real short clip where he welcomes back Tommy Lee, who apparently didn't want any further scene. I guess Sean had more of a part, but that was it. He might have walked him in further into the office. Like, hey man, hey, do you got any?
If it was Sean walking him in, it probably took too long. So they're like, we don't have time for this whole walk-in thing.
Ow! Oh,
ow!
Then he bites constantly. I don't want to work with him anymore.
I'd say for he's probably threatened by Sean's acting, and when he welcomed him into the elevator, that's where Tommy was like, "Oh fuck no, I'm not gonna, I don't want to battle today."
This guy's a scene stealer.
Gonna
Mhm.
be upstaged.
Yeah, it could have been. I mean, you could have easily just said, "What the fuck is this old dude doing? Let's put Sean Rouse and roll him with Will Smith." Fucking best movie ever. I always felt like Tommy Lee should have been like Sean should have eaten his brain and taken over.
I think I found a picture of him.
Of Sean as
Yeah, hold on a second.
yeah, I think he had an
I've seen the
agent.
clip. I think Andy shared it before.
Ah, shit, you can't.
Oh, damn
yeah,
it.
I'll fix it. But yeah,
But those are real hands too. Didn't they just go? Do you think
That was
Sean?
how he got the job.
I know he's like a hand model job. It's like Sean probably could have done hand modeling and but just for kinky fucks. Like old gangsters and stuff. Yeah. Let me see what Knuckles did to you. Yeah. But yeah, did Sean? I don't know if he did any other acting, did he? I mean, that's a pretty big one and off. I think his other acting credit was the comedy special with Dave Attell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that him?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Wow.
Yeah, he's a youngster.
He's got a very alien sort of kind
He's
of.
got that look, yeah.
So that's
Mhm.
probably why it fits perfectly. He's got the kind of the big head and the small shoulders.
And that's what I
Maybe
wonder.
looking to phone home.
And a different. Maybe they could have cast that as like if Netflix was around. We want to do a Men in Black, show, and then like eventually Sean's got his own origin story.
Right.
Huh?
The
It
Book
just
of
wasn't
Sean.
the right time. Yep. Shawnee Rouse's own universe, Hey, let's go get high with these aliens. What do you want to do? Some bumps off of that girl's
This
14?
alien's got the best shit. Andy, I will say that I was talking with Junior and some other people who had not heard the story of when you and Junior and Sean Rouse were on the road and you got left behind because they didn't know you got out. And people were fucking doubled over listening to this story. And I was too, and I've heard
Yeah.
it before. So I
Yeah, I
may have been
bet
the
you.
one that brought it up because I was hanging out with Junior. But
Yeah.
the people that were there that hadn't heard it were fucking loving it.
Yeah, we should have, we didn't tape anything, but if we had, we should have just like, let's just be an experiment and put cameras everywhere and watch this fucking blues tragedy as we live it. The experience of it, the look on the bar, at North Bar where he's like, well, your guys' bar tab. Well, just come back tomorrow and we'll settle up. We're like, we're 400 over what we made. And it really, both me and Junior felt like we were not drinking much that night. I was like, oh man, that was Sean. Sean was fucking, there were nights on that tour where he was perfectly medicated, but it was a fucking concoction and nothing you'd want to see repeated. And yeah, and then the fucking car, Junior's car, and that whole thing
Junior's $500 car.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's you needed every ounce of his mechanical ability to keep that thing going. And yeah, man, I wish we'd have recorded every one of Sean's sets because they were like, pretty focused for the most part. But man, when he fucking goof around, it was hilarious. With the girl, there was a show with the girl had the panties stuck to her. And Sean's like, hey, what's going on? And saw what was going on. She had panties stuck to her, and Sean demanded them. Then he put them on his head and wore them like
yeah, we've seen that picture.
Belt.
That's a classic Sean Rouse picture.
Yeah, and then he did. It was a very small crowd, but he just kept talking to her. And then he goes, hey, man, He goes, these just come out of the laundry. He goes, you want to trade out? I'm allergic to Tide, I think he said. He said, like, yeah, Sean could say that sort of thing. He's asking the woman in the front row take off her panties and trade them, the ones that he has currently on his face. And it seemed innocent.
Uh-huh.
Did not.
No, that picture, and he got like a gold tooth. It looked very like Batman villain kind of thing. Like,
Uh-huh.
Panty man.
yeah, who would wear sheer panties with that gold, like a pimp or something, you know? Yeah.
It was like he heard that if you're gonna rob a bank, you should put like a nylon on your
Yeah.
head, but he didn't quite get it. He got it sort of. Well, I couldn't
Yeah.
find any nylon, so
Look at him. He had a permanent fucking boxing fist.
yeah, look
It's
at
like
that
people-
thing. It's like cauliflower ear, but
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like
Fist.
he'd go to a
It looks
bar.
like he's holding cauliflower with a hand you can't see.
Uh-huh.
That's what
Like,
it looks like.
if you saw him in a bar, you'd be like, "What do you want? You want a piece of me, man?" It's like, "No, no, buddy. That's just ordering 2 drinks." Oh man, yeah, it's a funny fucking little man, that's for sure.
It was.
He, I mean, it just the Unbookables was worth it for one reason, and that was for Sean Rouse to have that man boy whore bit out there.
Hmm.
Oh,
'Cause I doubt he would have even probably had that recorded unless Schlissel stumbled on him at the right time.
Well, you might be right.
Yeah. I don't know if you ever worked for David Tribble, but David Tribble
Oh yeah.
just announced he's folding up his tent, folding the maps up, no longer booking comedy. So
I think saying folding up his tent is probably accurate because some of his rooms probably were in tent.
yeah, yeah, the best and worst experience. If you hit it at the right time in your comedy life, it was kind of a cool adventure. You know, you get to drive 700 miles in a day, gets
Yeah.
elements and shit, you know. Like it was like the Amazing Race sometimes, where like you get up at 10 o'clock and then realize you didn't physically have time to get to the gig on time now. You know, like oh shit, it's like you know. See, and then you didn't have GPS either, so you had that element of getting
Right.
lost and
Miss
all
an
that.
exit.
And the gigs were more than likely one of the worst fucking gigs you've ever done. Like they'd just stack up and you'd forget which one was worse.
He used to pay you at the end, like you would do like a 4-show run, and they would all be, obviously different venues, but you didn't get any of your money until the end, like so that you wouldn't leave. Like you had to do all of the gigs to get the money, because otherwise you would have been like, well,
You
I'm
fail-
not driving
Yeah,
He
this
was
last
probably
500 miles for another $100. Fuck it.
yeah.
he was probably an analytics guy, where he just like spin the wheel, you know. One of the gigs I did with Tribble was a run, and I didn't know this guy, and it was Inman, and I worked with Inman, and I think I kind of run across him in Seattle a couple times, but I don't think he smoked weed,
Was
so I didn't.
Bateman living in Seattle at that time?
He was, yeah. So
Okay.
I did this gig in Wenatchee, Washington, and they just had a sex scandal. Something was going. There was something that I caught wind of that I brought up, which I was an opener and I shouldn't have brought it up. Inman got them all riled up about guns. I remember that. I remember coming in the room and this guy, he'd had like several drinks at the bar. I didn't want to report on a coworker, but this guy was hitting it pretty hard, but I figured he knew what he was doing, you know. And he got them all riled up, you know, as I knew what it felt like when they were riled up because I'd done it and I'd left. And there he is. Yeah. He was born with one ear. Like he has a prosthetic. I always like to stand on that side on those occasions when I did whisper in his ear. But he
I love
so
you, George Bailey.
yeah. So he called up and said, like I was hung over, in Wenatchee, and David Tribble called up first thing in the morning from, he had a hotel, hey, it's, wake him up, whatever. Ring, a bunch of rings, and I get over in the phone, and it's David Tribble telling me I killed comedy in Wenatchee.
Uh-huh.
I'm like, I think you have the wrong number. You're calling for James, the headliner? He goes, no, I'm calling for you. You brought up the sex, like, let me have it for, riffing. People don't like, I've never been fond of the riff. And then I got Inman and some bit like Tribble's like, gives me shit and says, I got, any more trouble and, but he knew I had to drive Inman. So, and I didn't know Inman. Then we had another gig in Yakima.
Yakima.
And Inman boned some big chick. And she was so the next morning I'm looking for the headliner. I'd just been with him for a short ride, as it turned out to, and then and I couldn't find him anywhere. And then I found him, and he was like, he's bald. I didn't know that. And he had all his shit in the bag. This chick vomited on his stuff, so he did laundry. He's worried about his psychic girlfriend. I go, all right, get in, man. And then he stopped at the first store and he gets Yuma. He's drinking Yumas, I think they're called. And he gets a 6-pack of
Yoo-hoos.
no, it's a drink. It's like a
well, yeah, Yoo-hoo's a drink.
No, but it's not like chocolate milk. It was a booze drink, like a popular Zimas. He got a 6-pack of
Yuma?
Zimas.
You said Yuma?
It's been a while.
He knew it started with a letter towards the end of the alphabet, Shaylee.
Yeah, it was real close.
Zuma, Yuma.
So, and then this is a long drive.
You know that movie 310 to Zima?
Yeah. That's how you get to Yuma. It's on the Zima. 6 Zimas on the bus. That'll get you to Yuma, and then you get on the train. 310 comes through here about 4:00.
Have a Zima and relax.
Put it in a bag.
Yeah.
But so Inman sucked down these six drinks like right away, and then needs to stop again to pee, and then needs to stop again to reload on the Zimas. And then he just had to pee, and then it's like and then the alien stuff and all this shit, and so that was my introduction to Inman. And then when I was clambering along a side wall in Death Valley, there's fucking Inman on that wall, and that's after
the next time you saw him.
Yeah, after our run in on that we had some laughs, but fucking A, man, driving with that guy, and I didn't know him, and I left my kid in the car with him. She was a baby,
Yeah,
and
I remember this story.
Yeah,
you told us this story before.
It just freaked me out to have him in. It's like this drunk guy who's like, he was crying about aliens. I was like, yeah, pyramid circles and shit. And it's like, I'm not really that interested.
Pyramid circles? You mean crop circles?
Zimas will fuck you up, man. And you don't know your circles from your pyramids. You drink enough of those. I like having a misinformation podcast. I know I ain't smart. That's all I'm going to say on that. I ain't smart. That's why I sip Dr. Peppers and eat weed candies.
Wait, you're drinking sodas?
Yeah, it's like a...
Dude, come on, man.
Me, man. I got cancer.
That's
Just
how
water.
you got cancer.
That's water.
Water only.
Really? No, they don't say that at the cancer school. Don't mess with Mr. Pibb because he ain't no doctor. But you got to have, I don't know. I think that's mainly Dr. Pepper is really the only.
But you think it's Dr. Pepper's okay because it's doctor?
PhD, man. You wouldn't just put sugar and shit in. It ain't just reconfigured Mr. Pibb. For fuck's sakes. It's a Zima soft drinks. Dr. Zima.
I do like Dr. Pepper.
Mm-hmm. It's refreshing.
Don't drink too many of them, then, Andy. Just have.
Well, my goal is to get my fat belly back just for this initial Naked and Afraid challenge.
Oh,
So I wake up in the
I
hospital.
know you're
with
not
my
doing any
organs sliced
research,
open.
Andy, but I don't think drinking a bunch of Dr. Pepper before your surgery so you can
Why
have a
not?
fat belly is really the way to go. I'm not an expert either, though, so maybe it is.
I'm smoking weed. I'm preparing. You know, it's. If I was preparing for ski season, I would be approaching it differently. So yeah. So I really rallied. You know, like like I don't have an inspiring fight against cancer. I'm just gonna go there, get it cut out, and hopefully they burn the rest out because then I'll like throw up my hand.
It seems like early on when this happened, I was kind of envious, Andy, because I was like, well, Andy was at least as suicidal as I am. And
I
then
can't
you got
now.
cancer, and then like you got will to live. And I was like, maybe I need cancer. I would like, maybe I want to have a will to live, but it seems like that's faded off. And now you're kind of,
well,
either way.
Mean, with all the donations and stuff I've received, I feel like I at least owe it a slugger's chance.
You'll go out high. That's all.
Yeah. Yeah, like, hey man, we can't refund your money, but we can use it to help him kill himself. I promise you I won't be coming back from Mexico. So thank you, everybody.
Oh, God damn it. I love you.
Well, I missed you guys whenever we were there. Andy, you would have hated Fremont. It was literally wall-to-wall people. You couldn't even photobomb people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
like you usually do.
With more of an edge to them.
There were so many people that they were already oblivious and walking across the street without your leadership.
Yeah, Polypalooza puts people at risk. Because you're there, you know, they get all jacked up on Polypalooza, and then like, where do you go?
It's a bad comedy variant.
It's like
I didn't see the Kick You in the Nuts guy at all. None of the Kick You in the Nuts guys were available. I did try to observe some cool grifts while I was walking. One guy had a sign that said, "Tip me if your girl is hot." And I told Jenny, that's got to fucking work a lot for a lot of these dumb bitches. And so that was probably a good one. They also had the chicks with their asses hanging out had the fuck Joe Biden flag that they would hold. And there was a line to take pictures at the on Fremont Street with that.
And then I'd put them on like a watch list. I'd get a copy of all of it. I saw a guy with a fuck Joe Biden shirt, this old dude, and I was like trying to drive by, and it was raining, and then I was like, and then he walked, and I like, oh man, I'm sorry, man, I couldn't get out of his way. Poor old fucker.
Yeah.
But yeah, just like it to me, it's like I'm just a fucking dick. You know. It's like I'm with fuckhead type of shirt or whatever, but yeah, it's just stupid. It's like I get it. They
not
need a joke.
Yeah, it just doesn't seem like it's the burn that they think it is, because even people who don't think fuck Joe Biden kind of think fuck Joe Biden. I'm not a fan of Joe Biden,
right?
But they think that they're just like, fuck, we got him. Fucking, let's go, Brandon. Fucking got him. Bird. Like, did you though? Because, fuck Joe Biden. Who cares? He's an asshole.
It's weird because you'd think they would notice that nobody has Joe Biden flags or signs. Like, it's not even a thing. There's nobody is like all fucking fanboyed out like you on the other side. It's funny to see.
There was with Obama only when he ran for re-election, and then they re-upped it. But it was, it's become like, just because you guys root for your fucking guy and don't see any weakness with him or whatever. I see fucking stumbly Joe forgetting some dialogue and thinning hair and being kind of a buffoon here and there. It's just so I'm not a big fuck. I'm not on the bandwagon, so you
Joe
don't hurt our
Biden-
feelings.
Joe Biden sucks. He's not good as a president. He's clearly in cognitive decline, and he's not good at the job that he's doing, which is even more of a slam on how bad your fucking guy was, because we still chose this motherfucker because your guy was such a fuck up. That
He's a successor in a long line of lesser of two evils. Yeah.
But
yeah,
but he was a very good head sniffer as a vice president. Like I figured he was unelectable just because they had all that footage of him sniffing kids' heads and stuff. Like that's something I would,
That's
in a
pretty
debate.
innocent old man thing to do. I think he's just, that's because he's out of touch with fucking, you might be sensitive to that.
I like when
I
he
don't
was
know that
sniffing up
everybody
that
thinks
biker
that.
chick. Like Joe, him being out in public, it's like these guys are all detached and shit. Like in the real world, you can't go head sniffing women at bars. I mean, I've had that affliction. You learn not to.
Wait, you have that affliction? Is that what you said?
Well, I mean, I've sampled some heads, given them I don't know.
Sometimes a lady's hair smells real nice.
Right, like strippers go out of their way to spray the vanilla in.
Well, that's a little different.
Right, but then so then you seek that. You go, well, I wonder what her head sniff, smells like. I smelled Kathy Griffin's just because I was behind her at Largo. It smelled like fucking burning hairspray, like curler burns. Like, it felt more like a beauty shop situation smell. Just saying, man, maybe she burned her hair or something.
Shop situation. Oh, God damn it.
Like probably hair coloring, ammonia and stuff. I was, I probably caught her on a dye day. And I shouldn't have been up in there anyways, Kathy Griffin.
Yeah.
I was new to Hollywood and I was destined to fail.
Yeah.
I saw this ugly redheaded dame.
You probably thought you were going to get a chance to sniff Kathy Griffin's hair all the time.
I thought I'd be sniffing her head at parties for years.
Yeah.
Instead, I went home.
But at least you were able to stay out of the Hollywood pedophile baby eating ring. So.
Yeah, I'd be a lot healthier.
Well, yeah, the adrenochrome would have taken care of that whole bile duct situation.
That's the thing is for half of that GoFundMe, I can probably get a baby.
Her hair smell like a wig?
She cut her hair off.
Oh, wow.
Because everyone kept sniffing it.
Maybe she's selling it to perverts.
I'm not a
box for weirdos.
I've never been captured by the illusion. I always know that people in Hollywood are uglier than they appear. But one time I read an article about that lady, and they showed a picture of her, like when she didn't have her, like, it was rough. Ooh,
yeah.
Man.
You could do a picture with her with holding her just like one tusk of red hair, like she did with Trump.
A tusk.
Well, like she held, that was so controversial.
Yeah.
Let's Go Brandon crowd is okay with those kind of jokes. Actually, she looks better with the bald head.
Well, that angle ain't great, but the left side looks pretty.
She definitely looks.
The right
like
side looks way better than the other picture that I saw of a not made up.
Yeah.
I think she was.
She's good at her makeup.
Picture. I'm not judging people on their looks. I'm ugly as fuck, but listen, like recognizes.
I don't know. Don't you have a light filter on? You look good to me. Yeah, like she terrorized Donald Trump with that. Maybe Trump should hold her head, huh? And Maybe let's go. I like how Trump's just like you see pictures of him and he's just dancing with fucking whores,
I have not
doing
seen
coke and dancing, and I don't know.
I saw a picture of him the other day with country singer Jason Aldean.
that. Oh,
And they were golfing, and Trump looked like a cardboard cutout. It looked like somebody was like when they take pictures with the Stanhope cutout at the end of the show. Oh my God, look at that. Yeesh.
that's the
scary.
one I was talking about. I think. Where
That
it's just-
real?
Listen,
Yeah.
it's like
Yeah.
like just a stark difference, I'm not an ugly shamer. I don't get
That
me
looks
wrong.
like
I'm a nice
Scott
fellow.
That looks like Carrot Top to me more than it does Kathy Griffin.
Yes.
Looks like Scott Thompson. Jaylee, see if you can find the Jason Aldean.
I got it right here.
He's
Pull it.
doing a thumbs up. And
Yeah,
Yeah.
he does.
And it
He
doesn't
has
look
that
real to me.
stupid pose that he thinks like that's his best angle or whatever.
There it is.
Yeah.
It doesn't
It does look like a cardboard cutout.
He's
Fucking
got the
sweaty.
big fucking man tits and the
Yeah, that's actually a good
Thumbs
picture for
up.
a cutout because he doesn't have his arms like looped. He's got
Right.
it to his body. It's nice.
Right.
So that's the picture you want. So that could be it.
Wow. Yeah. Send a cardboard cutout of Donald Trump. That would be fun to have right there.
So who's this goofball? Jason
did you see,
Aldean.
Jason
Did you
Aldean's a country singer.
Yeah.
did you see Larry David's Double Down?
Yeah, I saw someone
That's pretty
reposted
funny.
that interview.
Yeah.
That was pretty
Yeah.
funny.
Like he don't give a I don't give a
Well, first of all, honestly, it was an interview with Larry David when they were talking to him about, in the one season, last season, he was wearing the MAGA hat around because people left him alone because everyone hated him wearing the
Yeah.
MAGA hat. And he loved it because people finally, were leaving him alone. And the guy was asking him like, aren't you worried about people, being offended or, Trump fans, getting pissed off? And he's like, no, fuck them. I don't care at all, which it for sure doesn't. But also, there really aren't that many Trump fans who like Curb Your Enthusiasm. I don't think those two Venn diagrams cross over much. If you just can't be into Donald Trump and get the humor of Curb Your Enthusiasm.
Yeah.
I don't think. So,
Yeah.
but it was a great clip. I fucking
Yeah, he just
Here's something. Here's a speaking of Larry David, this made me think of it. As we get out of here, this will be my recommendation to watch. Have you guys seen the Super Bob Einstein documentary?
Yeah. I was.
No, what is that?
That's the it's Super Dave Osborne.
Yeah.
It's a documentary about him, and it is so fucking good. I did not know that him and Albert Brooks are brothers. I had no fucking idea.
Oh, I see it now. Yeah.
Yeah. Albert Einstein.
Yeah, Albert Einstein is Albert Brooks's name, which I knew, but I didn't know that he and Bob were actually brothers. But the documentary is really, really good.
Because I remember that character.
Carrie and I watched it, and we fucking were like out loud laughing, giggling, crying through the whole thing. All those clips of him doing the stupid Super Dave shit and just all the stuff, because everything he does with that really straight face, you know.
Marty Funkhauser
Stuff on Curb is just unbelievable. And the clip of his very first TV appearance was really, really funny too. He was the guy who painted the stars onto the Hollywood Walk of Fame. That was the original thing. Oh my God.
Yeah.
You just see the whole idea of the kind of character he would play he's already doing it right there. And he was writing partners with Steve Martin on the Smothers Brothers show back in the 60s. Like, it goes way back. This dude's been in it forever, and the documentary is great. I can't remember which streaming service I watched it on.
HBO.
There you go. It's really fucking good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I recommend it as well. Yeah, I was, it's like all these guys went to school together and shit. It's really pretty cool.
Yeah. So, all right, let's get out of here. You guys got anything else you want to hit up before we go?
You can go to GoFundMe. The GoFundMe for Andy. Sorry, Chad. Is
Oh yeah, it's still up there.
just do a search for GoFundMe.com Andy Andrus and it'll come up.
Yeah.
But yeah,
We
I
can
see
put a
there's
link in the.
yeah,
we
we'll
can
put a link. But if
Yeah.
you're hearing this, you want to go there, it's real easy to find. It's not
Put
like
up his Venmo too, just if you want to do a direct thing. Also, remember all of your Patreon subscription money is going to Andy also. So we're glad you're subscribed. We're going to keep putting all of these out. They'll still be on Patreon, but they'll go out to everybody. But please don't unsubscribe because all that money is going to Andy also. So we're glad to have as many people along for this ride as we can get. And there it is, Venmo.com/Andrew-Andrist. And we love you guys. And I love you guys. Thanks for being out there. We'll be right back here next week doing the same stupid shit. We hope that you are here too. See you.
how's the mic sound?
You sound good. How about me? Sound
Yep.
okay?
Let me turn up a little bit
Yeah,
here.
dude.
Hey,
dude.
Just got tangled up. I always need to grab something last second.
Yeah.
I got all tangled up like fucking like a classic Chevy Chase pratfall.
I'm Andy Andrist, and you're not. Yeah, I'm always ready about 20 minutes ahead of time, but then somehow still scrambling to be ready at call time. I don't know if those things are true, but they seem to be true.
Something just out of reach. Grab that, and then I forget I got the headphones plugged in. Knocks into something. Get twisted up on the stupid ring light that never seems to do what it's supposed to do. Makes it too bright.
There's our guy.
Yep. Hey, he's in a
What's up,
different
fellas?
corner.
My computer was flat dead. I didn't realize it. I had to wait.
Yeah, it's always like some fucking, hey man, you got to update this shit. Now we're shutting it down. I know. Do that shit later, man.
Yeah. Well, it's good to see you guys again. It feels like we just chatted.
Yeah.
I thought we were gonna all wear the same outfits.
Yeah. Where's the Chad's missing a flannel, a yellow flannel.
I didn't get that memo, and I wouldn't have done
Well,
that.
I just assumed we're trying to just slide this one in, but yeah.
Slide
whatever.
it in and pretend we're not selfish assholes who care about nobody but ourselves.
Oh yeah, I mean, I thought about it after we did the recording. Is like it wasn't that many days after New Year's Eve, but I watched Brett Brock do these amazing sketches on and off because I doze off, and then I thought, oh, I thought it was on his. He did like 24 hours straight of sketches. Yeah, and there's some of them. That's the ones of us that yeah, the classic depiction of the issues with Andy there. But Brett did sketches, and he's they're for sale or for bid on eBay. And we got done with the podcast, and it's like I didn't even mention. He's up for 24 straight hours doing that stuff. Like he had a wrist pad on, but I mean, it's like each one of those things requires more strokes than my wrist have.
You're all stroked out.
Yeah, and yeah. So check those out. You can bid on them, and he did one of each of us, and I think my favorite is either Big Lebowski or Frankenstein, as those are.
They're all great. And so
Oh.
yeah, so the gist of this is, everybody, that we recorded the podcast yesterday, and by the end of it, we're pretty high and pretty drunk, and we don't know what we're doing anyway. And then as soon as the podcast was over, about 20 minutes later, I think it was Chad who texted first, like, "Hey, should we have maybe mentioned all of the people who are doing such wonderfully nice things?" I think Chad's computer just died again.
Oh, no.
All of the people who are helping Andy out, maybe they deserve to mention during the podcast. Yeah. We could
Yeah.
do that.
And what did you say? Did you say no?
I mean, initially I said fuck them, but you guys outvoted me.
Yeah. That one's behind Greg right now. I don't know why. I guess anyway, we thought he was he was a relative of ours for a long time. Yeah.
Vincent Price. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
You heard that story.
Uh-huh. Like,
This is one of my favorite. This is one of my favorite ones of his.
Shaylee, your mic's fucked up again.
Yep. It's doing. It's doing. I don't know why.
it's that Star Wars effect.
Yeah, dude.
Is it? I'm so used to all the technical glitches being on me that it's just fucking. It's cool now that I got cancer. Everybody else is having glitches. It's one of the first things that happens. You get computer glitches, then it's inside of you.
So our buddy Brett Brock, he's Husky Boyo on Twitter, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
That's where you can go find him. He's on Instagram. And for 24 hours, he stayed up. He must have was he doing Adderall? How did he do that?
I don't think he did Adderall. I asked him. He was, he didn't do the alcohol till late in things. I think
see.
that's how he did it, because he like, I've seen him drink a fair amount and still be able to put together some amazing little panels, so he kind of, but he just waited on the booze, so he started on that.
That's
probably
smart.
Yeah, and then I think I'm not 100% sure, and then I know he had coffee. Yeah, he'd take little walkaway breaks, but not nearly enough,
He had
Uh-huh.
a running on his stream in the corner. There's a little running time, and I just saw him do a flip through of all the pictures, and then at the end, it was actually 24 hours straight that stream was up. Yeah,
Holy shit, man.
yeah. It's cool. It's all on Twitch too. It's all on Twitter. I'm sorry. It's all on his Twitter, Husky Boyo. And then
Yeah.
I've actually taken the link and put it up there under a bunch of other pictures, so that if anyone wants to check it out, they'll be up until Monday. So this goes out today, being Friday. That you'll be able to get in there, bid early and bid often, as they say.
Can you bid on Twitter? Or do you have to be on Twitch? How does it work?
I think you gotta go.
Just
It's
go to
on
the link?
eBay.
eBay.
No, it's an
Oh.
eBay thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, go to his Twitter to find it on eBay, because I had trouble with what his code was. I've never been on eBay, so it's new to me.
I don't go on eBay either, so
I'll put
I'm
the
not
link up today in Patreon, and it'll be visible to everyone. So it won't just be behind Patreon subscriptions, but you can go there and check it out. You can see what our what people value our likeness as.
So, and he had people on, commenting the whole time.
Yeah. My cat stream.
Yeah, Skillet. You wonder when Skillet sleeps, or if he sleeps.
I don't wonder that at all.
Or if he does it upside down. But yeah, I would
He's like
doze
a better
off.
living through chemicals kind of person, so
Yeah.
I'm not surprised that Zoop made it through the stream.
Yeah,
He's a hero.
I would wake up and then kind of forget about it for a minute, and then go, oh yeah, and then go back, and he was, on another, it's like he was I don't know if too many people could do that kind of thing for 24 straight hours without
I mean, why would you?
without it. Yeah. I know.
I mean, he's not helping him load the pencils with colored ink.
Right.
You know,
Yeah.
so Zoop doesn't need to be up the whole time. The support is great. That's fun to
Yeah.
have someone checking away and going, "Hey, looks like you made that ear too big." But I mean,
Also, there's somebody that I think we all have blocked, who just was an over commenter, and anyway, it's a chick that we all blocked, and she was on it for quite a while too.
I'm intrigued. I don't know.
I don't want to say the name because it's been a while.
it's got to be Brittany.
No. I don't even know who that.
Thought he wanted
I
him
gotta
to say
edit.
his name.
Did I win the prize?
I don't even know what that one is.
I bet
But,
I know.
Yeah. But I also wanted to thank Ken Harris, who's donated his proceeds from his author's copies that he has these books in advance that he's shipping out, and I'm getting that. So man, I'm my plan B is to take all that money and go out in style and film it.
Well, wait, hold on a second. You take all that money to cure cancer.
Right. Well, it's
Okay,
the battle
all
of cancer, and if I take it up into the
Failing that.
caves and drug it to death, just saying, But yeah, so I'm on my countdown, to the surgery and such. So it's the plan B, which I've already haven't taken. There, he would be bummed out if I was like, I just took that and then fucking did a bunch of heroin. Well, I mean, I'd need I wanted to get everybody's money's worth. So I'd have to, get some good heroin, and I'd have to get a lot of stuff.
Why do you keep saying it like that?
What do you mean?
Heroin? Why do you say
Heroin?
heroin?
I don't do it enough.
Is that it?
I guess. I've only done it a few times, and it was great. But the bands broke up, and shit.
Yeah. Well, we certainly are thankful for our viewers, fans, whatever you want to call them out there. They are very talented. We have authors, we have artists.
And,
it's amazing.
And then
that they every week they tune in to this bullshit. 4 idiots just barely able to work their Skype machines.
These are from Acme.
Oh, nice.
What's that? Let me see that, Andy.
They're new stickers.
Oh, okay.
Just got those.
Is that your cancer journal?
It could, yeah. I didn't look at it that way, but that's first cancer joke. No, I don't know. I've never really kept a journal, so I doubt the cancer is going to shake that up.
You could just do. You used to have a joke about your wife getting cancer, so you can just flip the pronouns. Yeah.
Yeah. Now my hair is in the drain.
Right.
They should have an intervention on me. Hey man, I'll see how it is on the other side. Yeah. I don't have the punchline ability yet on that. Gotta live that one.
Never stop.
So yeah, go ahead, Greg.
I was gonna say Ken Harris. I'm getting a picture of his book so you can see it, but I'm getting the information so we can put it up there as well. It'll all be Pine Barren Stratagem.
Pine Barren Stratagem.
And I feel bad because I got a book quite a while ago. I took it to Death Valley. I don't know. It's not in my stuff. I've searched for it.
Oh, so you let me borrow.
Okay, well then so that's what happened, and I think he kind of expected me to. Well, I don't know if he's expecting, but I never gave him a review or anything because I just I got to about chapter 3 or 4, and then it disappeared. So there's the real mystery. There's a mystery of worthy of Steve Rockfish.
That's the next
I
book.
think that's find out where my. And so I'm gonna get it on Audible. I think is it available on Audible?
It's available on
Oh,
Audible, Amazon pre-order and paperback. If you go to Ken Harris's, if you go to his Twitter, which is at 08025 Writes, WRITES, or just look for it in the show notes, because that is a weird one to have to expect you to remember. But all the information's there on how to get it.
Ken's an enigma, just like Steve Rockfish.
Uh-huh.
Right on. All right. Cool.
So where are you going to place this in the thing? You're going to try and be clever and like have the screen go squiggly or something and put in
Is this our little ad? This little ad we're doing right now? I don't know.
Oh
I
yeah.
don't know, man.
Hey man, it's just like what last Tuesday was thinking.
Yeah, we could do the
Plains World.
Yeah.
Or maybe Chad can just blow a puff of smoke and then we.
And then you could just
there you go.
smoke out the whole screen. Wait, did he do it? Oh,
I think he's in the process.
But I had the fan on.
Oh yeah,
right on the set.
My fans are the greatest.
Right on. All right. Well, that's not. I think it's great that that so many people are doing things like this to help out. The GoFundMe's out there. The Patreon money is headed that way. Ken and Brett and a number of other people have stepped up. Other people have hit us up and said, you know, they want to help, and we're like, hey, just be out there, you know, just be a friend, be involved, and if there's any other ways that you can help, if they show themselves, we'll let you help for sure. So we appreciate all you guys being out there all the time, and especially at a time like this. So it's very fucking cool.
Like junkies.
So now back to your regularly scheduled program.
How did we get here to Friday already?
How come I'm still wearing the same clothes that I was a week ago?
Yeah, oh man, I had that shit. Just moved that stuff I was wearing off of this chair. Sitting down, I should have put it on. Could have been seen. Chad looks the same.
Chad's only got 4 t-shirts.
Yeah, I've only got 3 shirts and they're all the same. So.